Welcome back to my channel. Hi guys, my name is Sharifa, aka Tsungai, aka Miss Vogue. Welcome. We are on part 3, speaking of the rapture, and I'm trying to gain you an understanding why I'm empathizing with these people and understanding their belief journey, and why we should all take heed and also be cautious about how we go around this. So I'm going to back using the Bible. So during Isaiah's time, Isaiah came, he prophesied. Some people believed, some people didn't, but there was a time when they had to go rebuild through Ezekiel that people believed, and therefore the extreme virginity and all that stuff started being a thing in the scriptures. Prior to this, we didn't speak about virginity, but however, we did, but we didn't. Not so much not so much after Leviticus, but so much so that the purity of a woman was maintained because they wanted the Emmanuel to appear, and they were paying attention to this because obviously Emmanuel had to be born, and a child of David, so it's in the Judah family, so which is the bloodline. Anyway, I digress. I'm summarizing on this, and here we go. So in saying this, the whole process is that it was intense to the point where people had slightly gotten into their way according to scriptures, well, according to the Bible. I'm referencing the Bible because obviously there's other books that are not in the Bible that are also spiritual books that were not included when King James was translating these books. He just had to compound, select, and then put what he could in there. In terms of King James as the version of the Bible that was first interpreted to be spread across, then later on Good News. However, and this is what I'm focusing on, stay on point, put a pin in this. So we are here with the people that initially in the middle started believing, and when they went to rebuild and so forth, and then years later we skedaddle and skip it all the way. We have Ezekiel, who's with the slaves, and then we have Daniel, who's with the slaves, but slaves inside the palace of the, what do you call it, Iran, what, Palestinian Empire, Babylonian Empire. So during that time, we are seeing that there's many visions that are happening around the same time, and it's only later that people will start bringing them together and try and formulate a plan and so forth. There's a lot going on here. But however, Mary is then born, and then being born of the family of David, which is the Judah family, the Lion of Judah, being born of that and birthing a child without intercourse. In this generation, you probably say IVF, but but she had an immaculate conception where she created the Christ. There's a lot of understanding that I have now, but I'm talking about my understanding then. So in this moment, I'm giving a historical concept of why this situation should not be taken for granted, but we all as Christians, well, I'm not a Christian and stuff, but all Christians should learn from this situation and have a spiritual awakening about what just happened. My point here is that in that instance, people didn't believe that Mary had an immaculate conception. In fact, they kept it secret to the point where the outside noise, the spiritual realm, knew that it happened, and therefore they went on a massacre to kill children and boy children, as a way to cleanse the earth. This is not new. It's happened, and strangely, someone could say that about what's going on in Gaza right now. But anyway, I digress. We remain on point. We stay focused on what I'm talking about. And in that moment, we hear that the children were being cleansed, that the child had to escape with the parents into Egypt. Basically, he came home to us, because he was, during his time in Egypt, we don't hear that he was treated like other or discriminated against, because he looked like others. So he came home to Egypt, but was born in Bethlehem, and so forth. And even the people who knew the time on when he was born came from where? The East, right? All these complications and all these things are pointing out to the prophecy happened, but when it came to, are all the Christians going to look back at this moment and forget that this happened and take it like a joke, that you can't put a date and a time? Maybe you can, maybe you don't, you should. But this situation, if and when this will actually, the rapture will actually happen, even if it's a thing or if it's not, let's say it will happen. Do you think you are going to be as ready as these people? Or do you think these same people will be ready like they were right now for the rapture? I don't believe in none of this, because it's all belief system. I don't believe in none of this. But what I'm learning from this objective is that it's happened in the past. It's happened with the Adventist Church. It's happened. But my thing right now is that this rapture situation, will all these Christians who believe in the rapture, will you actually be ready when this rapture actually happens? Because these people were seemingly ready for the rapture. But I am learning from this. I am totally learning from this. Please stay tuned for the final part when I'm going to talk about this. But feel free to comment, like, subscribe, so that you keep me engaged when I next post. And if you've got questions, please write them on the comment section below. And if I'm going to put them in my next video, I will pin them, and then I'll respond to the particular question, and then we'll formulate it into a video. And I will comment so that you know that I'll be posting on this video. But I like you comment, I like you subscribe, so that it motivates me to show up on this page and build this community of just having candid conversations. We don't have to agree, but a conversation has to be had, so that we grow and we learn from each other, because this is home. Earth is all of our home, and we all get to live here. But we need to understand that we are all not the same, but we need to respect and understand each other's faith and journey, or lack thereof, in this life. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye.